What is good, people? We're back with another video, and today we're talking about the chakras. Let's jump straight into this because I know there's been a lot of requests for this video. So let's jump straight into this. So you have 7 chakras, right? 7 chakras, and these chakras are feeding off your electromagnetic field, known as your aura. This is both positive and a negative pole, male and female, right? This electromagnetic field is made out of electric and magnetism, and together they come as electromagnetic. Now, your chakras, the word chakra just means wheel, spinning wheel, because that's what they are. They are spinning wheels of energy. They do not exist on this physical plane, they exist on the etheric plane. Okay, now, these energy centers are known to regulate your emotions, and each energy center controls the organs and cells in that particular area of the body. So, for example, your sacral chakra will control the cells and organs of your sexual reproduction area. Okay, the navel chakra or solar plexus will control the digestion in your body. Same with the heart, same with the throat, right? So they are like mini brains for each center of your body. They run along up the spine, but notice the crown chakra exists outside the body. It's just above the head. Now, this process of the chakras is obviously the 7 colors of the rainbow, starting from red, which is the lowest vibrational color, all the way to violet, which is the highest vibrational color. This, like I said, these energy centers are feeding off your electromagnetic field. So if these chakras are unbalanced, they are taking too much energy from your electromagnetic field, making it weaker. Now, this is the North Pole. As you all know, the Earth is flat, and we live inside of a giant torus field, and the North Pole is the Earth's heart chakra. And this is why the aurora borealis, or the northern lights, whatever you want to call them, that's why they are green, and they are being emitted from this center point of the Earth, because it's symbolizing the heart chakra, which is green, right? Now, you do work your way up to these. However, this is a torus field. You are a torus field. You have different layers of this torus field, right? And you need to balance all of these chakras, but you can't move up these chakras until you open the one below it. So it's like a stairway. You can't go to your solar plexus without going through your sacral. You see? So you have to work up these. However, you have to work up these and then live from the heart, because the heart is the center of the torus field. It's the balance between male and female poles, positive and negative poles. So you have to balance all of these chakras and then bring them all into one, which is the heart chakra. Now, they exist on the etheric plane. They exist on the etheric plane, and the etheric plane is a layer of the material plane. It's the one higher than the material plane, and then after the etheric plane, it melts into the astral plane. So they exist just between the physical and the astral aspect. Now, this is the yin and yang matter, which is the lowest root chakra, physical matter, and then to spirit, because high vibrational matter turns into spirit, low vibrational spirit turns into matter. So they're interchangeable. This is the yin and yang. Now, when you see ancient paintings with the halos, you see this is like a toroidal field coming out the top of his head, you see, with a halo. This was symbolizing in the old days, in the ancient days, that they've aligned their chakra, they've reached Christ consciousness, which is God consciousness, right? Now, this electromagnetic field is the the apple that we bit out of in the Bible. Because you see, the apple is a torus field. So they were metaphorically or personifying the torus field. That's what the Bible is. It's a massive personification. It's all metaphors. You have to read it properly. It's got a greater meaning behind it. Now, when we bit from the apple, we ate from the tree of knowledge, which is good and evil. Our lower mind took over, so we materialized to feed our physical bodies. We materialized through Saturn. That's what Saturn does. Now, if you don't understand that, go and watch the video previous to this one called Occult Secrets of Saturn, and that will show you how Saturn is the materializer. Now, this is one of the secrets behind the Masonic compass: electric and magnetic, male and female, duality, positive and negative. Now, like I said, they teach you about the torus field, about a magnet in school, but they don't teach you about your electromagnetic field. Everything alive has a torus field. It is the building block of this creation. Absolutely everything has a torus field. There's not one thing without it. And as you can see here at the center of the apple, that's where the seed is. That's where the life is. The reproduction of that organism. As you see, this is where the most electromagnetic energy is stored, in the center, because this is where the two duality, this is where the field meets, at the very center. This is why the seed is at the very center. Now, your spine is a elongation of the brain. The brain is heaven, and the bottom of the spine is hell. So this is Saturn, which is the root chakra. The 7 planets are associated with each chakra. Moon equals mind. Okay, now Saturn is physical matter, as I've just explained. This is the lowest vibrational color, and they want you trapped down here, which is your hell state, your animal nature, your physical nature. They want you to identify as the physical body. They don't want you to reach these higher states of consciousness. Okay? Now, in the brain, you have 12 convolutions. Now, this is what they were symbolizing in the Bible with the 12 disciples. And obviously in the Bible, it says the upper room where Jesus met with his disciples. This is heaven, the brain, the higher states of consciousness. Now, this is your North Pole. This is Jacob's ladder. Okay? This is why you have 33 levels of Freemasonry, because it's symbolizing the 33 vertebrae, which are these little things here on the back of your spine. Because once the Kundalini energy from the bottom of your spine rises to the top, this is when you get enlightenment and opens your third eye. Spiritual enlightenment. As you can see here, this is Jacob's ladder. This is the Kundalini symbol, right? And they're even showing you this in the medical symbol. They're putting it in your face. But the serpents are wrapped around the spine. Now, the serpents symbolize how the energy moves around the spine, because it's a torus field, you see? At the center of the torus field, it wraps around the center pole. It wraps around it, and this is how the energy moves up. So they're symbolizing it with the serpents. Okay? Now, every religion has a sacred river. For the Egyptians, it's the River Nile. For Christianity, it's the Jordan River, right? This river is the canal, the energy canal at the center of your spine, all the way leading to heaven, to the Holy Land. This is the chamber which the energy rises up, right? Now, they used to say the gods descended from heaven to man. This is just heaven. This is the mind state. And they said the gods were connected by a rainbow bridge. That's the chakra system, the rainbow bridge. Okay, now the ancients called this place Midgard, Earth, where both evil and good live, right? Midgard. But you can go to heaven, which is a pure mind state, because once you're in heaven, nothing negative can ever bother you. That's completeness. pure Christ consciousness. Now this is why Jesus dies at 33. He didn't actually die, but it's symbolizing the death of the physical body. Not the death of the physical body, but his consciousness rising above the physical body to, as I said here, matter to spirit. Matter died off and he came spirit consciousness. This is symbolized by the 33 vertebrae, which is obviously the 33 levels of Freemasonry. And now the pineal gland, which is at the very top of this Jacob's ladder, or the River Jordan, the canal, your 33 vertebrae on your spine. This is where the pineal gland sits, right? At the very top, at the center of your brain. Now, there's multiple ways this was symbolized. The Eye of Ra, which is used by the Egyptians. Now, this pineal gland is the seat of consciousness. This is where your consciousness is stored, right? And the ancient Sumerians used the pine cone, hence why it's got the word pineal gland, the seat of the soul consciousness. It produces DMT, dimethyltryptamine, which is known as the spirit molecule. And the pineal gland is wrapped in microcrystals, and we all know crystals transfer frequency and energy. Now, radios use crystals. A radio is a frequency transmitter, turning a frequency into a frequency that we can hear with our ears, right? Because all the radios are actually playing right now in your ears. However, our ears can't pick it up, so the radio transmits it into a frequency that we can hear using crystals. So this is the power of crystals, and this is what our third eye is wrapped in, crystals. Now, this third eye is not actually your third eye, it's your first eye. When you're being materialized in your mother's womb, this is the first gland that is produced, and everything's built around it, because it is the consciousness. It is your consciousness. Your consciousness never dies, ever. It's an eternal essence. It lives forever. You never actually die. Only the mortal body dies. Now that's what we call life. Life is abided by time, and time is change, and change is what we call life, because everything's constantly moving and transforming into different things, right? Now let's not get off track. The pine cone is obviously, this is in the Vatican here. The pine cone is symbolized as the pineal gland, pine. And this is the opened pine cone. The opened pine cone means, or symbolizes, the awakened man, the awakened third eye. But the ones here, which the Sumerian gods are holding, these are shut pine cones, symbolizing the unawakened man. But let's not get confused, people. These gods were not gods. They are human beings just like you. They reached Christ consciousness. They are nothing more special than you. They just had the ability to reach Christ consciousness. And obviously their knowledge was far more intelligent than ours, far more advanced than ours. They knew the truth about this reality to the depths. Now, the ancient Hindus had a goddess called Kundalini, which is said that she descended by the means of a ladder or a cord from heaven, which is symbolizing the spinal cord. Now, this is what hickory hickory dock, the mouse went up the clock and came back down. This is all these stories, like Santa as well. Santa comes up and then down the chimney. This is symbolizing the Christ oil. There's an oil which is produced in your pineal gland, right? And this oil travels down the spine. And once it's down on the spine, you must have to raise your consciousness, just like I said with the chakras. You have to raise your consciousness, raise your vibration to heat up this oil and turn it into a gas. And it travels back up the spine through like the serpents, up the spine, and this awakens the third eye once it's coming back up the spine and hits the pineal gland. This is the secret behind Santa and Hickory Hickory Dock, because Santa comes down and feeds the presents and goes back up the chimney, and he lives in the North Pole, the positive pole. This is the North Pole, people, and the presence is your sacred oil. This oil, your physical body, is the furnace. It's the spiritual furnace, which you have to heat up this oil by raising your frequency and turning it into a gas to rise up this chamber, the River Jordan, to your third eye, right? Now, this is an alchemical process. Your body is the alchemical furnace. It says in the Bible, if therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be filled with light. I shouldn't have cut that out, but that's what it says. The light of the body is thine eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy eye shall be filled, their body shall be filled with light. This is symbolizing the pineal gland, enlightening the body, the spiritual body, filled with light. Now, as I said, they want you kept down here, which is the root chakra, which is your animal nature, which is obviously mind, matter over mind. This is the symbol of Saturn, right? As you say, we're built of body, mind, and spirit, the Holy Trinity. That is the sun, moon, and earth. The sun's your soul, solar. Moon is your mind. Earth, which is the cross, which is your physical body, the 5 elements, right? So body, mind, and spirit. So the Saturn symbol is actually made out of the cross on top, which is the earth, and the moon on the bottom, which is symbolizing matter over mind, because earth is physical matter. You don't want to be matter over mind. You need to be mind over matter. See, they want you identifying as your physical body. They don't want you to realize you're an eternal consciousness. You're an eternal essence of consciousness which never dies. They want you trapped in your animal nature. And this is why the Baphomet has a goat head, because it's symbolizing your animal nature, which is evil. Not evil, but you're more likely to do evil things, right? Which brings bad karma. That's your animal side. This is why the Baphomet has an animal goat head. As you can see here, he's got the Kundalini energy here. So when you see the inverted cross, the cross is your body, as you can see here. The inverted cross means your chakras downwards, down here. Your head's down here. Your mind is down here. But your mind needs to be up here, which is the upwards cross, which is Christ consciousness. And as we all know, 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 planets, 7 chakras. Red light is low frequency and long range. This is why Saturn is the slowest moving celestial body, and it's the lowest chakra, because it's low frequency, long range. The moon being the crown chakra, which is high frequency. This is why the moon moves around the quickest. The moon is your crown chakra, which moon in mind. See, so there are multiple ways of your chakras becoming blocked. Now, each chakra has a specific intelligence. It has a specific thing that it's doing for the body, right? Now, this can be overused. It can be abused. For example, masturbation. That keeps you down here in your sacral chakra, because you're abusing the energy center. You're abusing your sexual energy, which is then becoming unbalanced. So this is how energy, this is why these centers are pulling more energy out your electromagnetic field, because these centers are wheels. The chakras just mean spinning wheel of energy. So when you're abusing these certain centers, you're pulling energy out of your electromagnetic field, which is making your field weaker, which is making your frequency lower, which makes you prone to diseases, prone to lower negative energy, right? So you need to align these chakras. You need to unbalance them. And as you can see here, you can screenshot these to see how they're blocked. I'm not going to go over each one because it'll take me forever, but have a little read yourself. This is why they're blocked. Now, the ancients used to say Aum when they meditated. Now, these are the 7 vowels There's not 5 hours, there's actually 7. Now, when they say Aum, they're aligning all their chakras by saying this when meditating. This is where the Aum originated from. Now, emotion is energy in motion. So if you're feeling a certain way, that's the energy you've put in motion. It's a reflection. We live in a mirror reality. Everything's mirrored. Everything's mirrored. As within, so without, as above, so below. Everything's a reflection of some sort. So whatever you're feeling, you're doing something wrong. It's telling you you're doing something wrong from the root cause. Because your energies are the effect. You're feeling the effect of something you've caused. The law of cause and effect. Nothing escapes it. Now, the Jehovah's Witness believe that exactly 144,000 faithful Christians go to heaven or be resurrected, right? This is not true. This is symbolic. 144,000 go to heaven. Now, the petals on the chakras, this is the root chakra, this is the crown chakra. Now, if you add up the first 5 chakras, the petals, add up the petals on the first 5 chakras, you get 48. And then you get to the third eye, which has 2 petals. 48 times 2 equals 96. 96 plus 48, which you got from here, equals 144. The last chakra has 1,000 petals. Times 144 times 1,000, you get 144,000. This is a frequency. This frequency is the frequency of the ascension up your chakras. This frequency is a high frequency which turns that oil into gas, which rises up the spine, activating your third eye. Right? So this is all the religions are all symbolic for this sacred secret of Christ consciousness. As it says in the Bible, the kingdom of God is within. It's not out there, people. You must look within yourself. You are God. You are a spark of his consciousness, infinite consciousness, right? So 144,000 is a frequency, and you must achieve this. Like I said, these people in the past, they're not gods, people. These were just humans. Nothing special. They just reached Christ consciousness. Now, they keep you in these lower vibrational states with the food, right? And as you can see here, all of these fast food restaurants are mainly are red and yellow, which are these lower states, these lower 2 chakras, lower vibrational colors, because they want you trapped down here in matter. And these foods are so low vibrational, they will keep you down here, because your gut produces, I think it's like 80% of melatonin. Melatonin is your feel-good hormone. These foods will not make you feel good. This is very low vibrational. Meat. It's not meat, it's raw flesh. These animals are stripped from their family, put on a conveyor belt, watch their friends be tortured, and then get slaughtered in a slaughterhouse. Think of all the fear that's running through their blood, all the hormones, all the fear, and you're going to go and eat that very low vibrational energy. As you can see here, this is the light photons within fruit. You can see the light, the life force in this fruit. You must think, feel, and do positive to raise your vibration. As you can see, earth equals heart. If you rearrange it, everything in nature is green, right? The aurora borealis is green. You must align all these chakras and then live from the heart, because the heart's the center of the Taurus field. You must become the consciousness in the center. So that's it for this video, people. Thank you all. God bless. What's good, people? We're back with another video. This is going to just be a quick video. Manifestation, magic, bending reality. So let's jump straight into this. So you have a conscious and a subconscious part of your mind. The conscious is what you're conscious of, what you're actually doing, where you can choose or not. However, the subconscious is the part of your brain which is automatic. So all of the systems in your body, like the digestive system, your heartbeat, these are automatically being ran. And you do not have to tell these systems to do anything. You do not have to consciously tell your heart to beat. It's automatically doing it. And this is what the subconscious mind is controlling. It's like the dark aspect of your brain or your mind. It is the way bigger aspect of your mind. Okay, it controls all the systems in your body. Okay, and this is where all of your programs are. So when you're in it, from your childhood, what you've learned in school, all of these things are being kept in your subconscious, maybe traumas and stuff like that. So the subconscious is the female aspect, and the conscious is the male aspect, because the male is all about action and doing, and the female is more about creation, creativity, intuition. So you have a right and a left hemisphere of your brain, and these are obviously male and female. The right side of your brain is your female. It's to do with creativity, imagination, intuition, insight. Okay. And this is one of the most important sides of the brain. This side of the brain is the most attacked by the elites, whatever you want to call them. This side is one of the most important, because obviously your intuition is a massive part of reality. And if you don't have intuition, then you lose track of the things around you. You can't consciously feel if things are wrong or right. They don't want you to have intuition or creativity or imagination. They want you in the left side of your brain, which is just reasoning, logic, and basic things. So they just want you to tell you what you want, tell you what to learn, and then that's it. They don't want you thinking for yourself, which is the right side of the brain. So whatever the conscious side of your mind impresses the subconscious side of your mind. So if you do affirmations, for example, if you consciously do affirmations every day, you're reprogramming your subconscious mind. You're impressing a vibration and a word into your subconscious mind, and therefore it will reprogram it. So the male and female aspect are symbolized by the Star of David as well. The male being the upside triangle, the female being the downside, connected all in one, because we both have male and female energy. So every thoughts are electric, which is the male aspect. Emotions are magnetic, which is the female. Each thought creates a wave of vibration in all directions. So think of it like a water drop in a pool, but it going out in every single direction. It's not just flat. And these thoughts have a certain frequency, has a certain vibration. That vibration has a certain frequency. And this affects your aura. Every thought, every emotion directly impacts your aura and the strength of your aura. So if you're angry all the time, your aura in the astral plane will look red. However, if you're happy, it'll be more like blue and green. So it's very important. Your electromagnetic field is created out of your emotions and thoughts, and that affects reality, because you're 60% water, and frequency and vibration create certain patterns and has a certain effect on water. We'll get into that after this slide. So each thought that people are thinking around you, you are actually subconsciously picking up these thoughts, because it's emitting this vibration in all directions. So this is why you can pick up thoughts of other people on the odd occasion. However, when you're more in tune with your intuition, your right side of your brain, you can start to pick up on vibrations, thoughts, and other people's auras. You can pick up on the energy once your third eye is open, and you know whether you should be in that environment or not. This is what we call an atmosphere. When we go into a room and you can feel the tension if someone's been arguing, for example. This is the atmosphere, this is the vibrations, these are people's auras emitting these certain frequencies and vibrations. Okay, so our aura is contained of multiple layers. Obviously, we have the physical body. This is the electromagnetic layer. However, you have the different planes of existence: the spirit, mental, astral, etheric, and then physical. The physical is the lowest plane of existence. And the physical plane is a product of all of the planes above. So the mental impresses on the astral impresses into the etheric, and then the etheric creates the physical object. So the mind is the root cause of reality. The mind is the cause of everything. Your consciousness is pure cause. There's no effect. Everything you see in this reality is the effect. Everything that you experience is the effect, because the root cause was the mind. The decisions you made you experience that certain experience, and that decision was created on the mental plane. And this is just pure thoughts, and thoughts are things. If it exists in your mind, it is a thing. It's a certain frequency. So if you have a certain level of thoughts, if you're thinking positive, for example, you're going to have a strong aura, you're going to have a higher vibration, and that attracts like attracts like when it comes to thoughts and vibrations and electromagnetism. So if you're thinking positive all the time, speaking positive, doing positive, you're then creating a higher vibration, and that's going to attract people on that similar frequency to you. Everything is electromagnetism, frequency and vibration. Everything. You see, so this is why, for example, if I put my hand to a TV screen, if my finger was the same vibration as the TV screen, it would go straight through it. However, the particles in my hand and the particles on the TV screen are two separate vibrations, and this is what causes the friction to stop, and not my finger to go straight through it. So like I said, when you don't feel the vibe of someone, when you don't feel right, you don't really get along with someone, this is a vibration. Your vibrations are not matching, they're not similar, they're two complete different vibrations, and they're not aligning properly. So music has a massive part on this. Music is a massive tool for the elites, because music is frequency. And in 1975, the musical instrument are all tuned to 440 hertz. So Spotify, Apple Music, most of the music on YouTube is all set to 440 hertz. And 440 hertz is not divisible by 3, 6, or 9. And when you can't divide a frequency by 3, 6, or 9, it's not a natural frequency. As you can see here, this is 432 hertz. This makes a nice geometric pattern. However, 440 hertz is a distorted pattern. So when you listen to this actually shuts off the whole right side of your brain. Like I said at the start, this is the most attacked side of your brain. It's to do with creativity, imagination, intuition. When you listen to 440 hertz, it shuts off the whole right side of your brain. And obviously shutting off all of these forms of your brain. Music is a very powerful tool for the elites, because it's the only thing which can enter your soul or your ears without consent, your body without consent. Everything else has to be through consent. You choose whether to eat something, you choose whether to drink something, but frequency, you're going to hear it no matter what. This is why it's so powerful, and music influences the body in many different ways. It's the most powerful imitator of everything. It directly affects all listeners. It directly affects intentions, gestures, movements, and actions. It stimulates your mind, and certain songs, certain catchy songs, can reprogram your subconscious mind, invoking certain emotions. This is why when you listen to slow beat songs, it makes you feel more sad. When you listen to upbeat songs, you feel more energetic. This is because these frequencies have a profound influence on reality and on how you feel. Because like I said, you are 60% water. And as you can see here, each frequency creates a different geometric pattern. And inside of you is 60% water. So like I said, 440 hertz is going to make a distorted pattern in your water. And this is going to have a profound effect on your emotions and your reality. So like I said, health is not just the body. You are made of body, mind, and spirit. You need to look after what you put in your body. You need to look after your spirit and look after your mind. It's very important to keep all these in balance, because once one of these are unbalanced, it affects the other two. So if you're eating wrong, it's going to affect your spirit and mind. If you're thinking wrong, it's going to affect your body and spirit. These are all interlocked. You have to look after them all. So it's very important you understand music. Stop listening to low vibrational music. To be honest, you want to listen to music without any sort of speaking inside of it. You just want pure frequencies, which are the solfeggio scale, like one of these, for example, 432, 528 hertz. These are all good frequencies. It's called the solfeggio scale. And these frequencies make you more in tune with nature. 528 hertz is what the earth vibrates at. So it's very important. And the Rockefellers are the one who changed this to 440 hertz. The Rockefellers, one of the elite families. So if you want to manipulate reality, it's very important to have your chakras aligned and having a high vibration, because the higher your vibration, the more powerful your words and your intentions are on reality. So the lower your vibration, the harder it is to affect reality, because you're in a lower state of consciousness. Like I said, you have the mental, astral, etheric, and physical. Everything is a product of the one above. As above, so below. This is what Hermes Trismegistus was saying in the Egyptian days. This is where it comes from. As above, so below. If you affect above, it directly affects below. So like I said, meditation helps on this, helps align your chakras. Think positive, feel positive. Like I said, your feelings are magnetic, your thoughts are electric. So once you combine these two together, you're then creating an electromagnetic frequency. And that will have profound effect on reality. So the law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect. Every effect has the root cause. Like I said, your mind is the root cause of everything. Every decision you make is having a different effect on reality. Everything happens for a reason, due to the root cause, which is your mind. You choose everything that happens in your life. Okay? So it's very important you understand this, and you constantly make the right decisions, the good decisions, to have good effects on your reality. You have to be very conscious of this law, because nothing escapes this law. This is the law of all consciousness. So think about it. Imagine a massive ball of consciousness. However, off this ball are different sparks, and each one of these sparks are in each and everyone's body. This spark is governed by these laws: the law of cause and effect, the law of correspondence, the 7 hermetic principles. It's very important you understand this, because this mass ball of consciousness is what is obeying these laws, and everyone has this spark of consciousness inside their third eye. And like I said, everyone is the same consciousness. This is why if you do bad onto someone else, that will directly affect your reality. So if you hurt someone, it's going to come back to you in one way or another, because you are that same consciousness. This is like a mirror reality. As within, so without. Whatever you feel on the inside, you're gonna see that on the outside. You're gonna experience that reality, whatever you've impressed. So there's different ways to bend reality to your will. This is kind of a sort of magic. So obviously you have black magic, which is manipulating reality to harm and influence others, or to be very selfish. And then you have white magic, which is manipulating reality for the good of humanity. So you do have to be very careful with your intentions, people, when you're trying to manipulate reality, because this is nothing to be played with. If you are manipulating reality for the wrong reason, it's going to come and bite you in the ass in some way or another. because everything is balanced. Everything balances out in this reality. Nothing escapes the laws. Not one thing escapes the laws. So if you're stealing from yourself, because it's just going to come back in one way or another. Inside of everyone's heart, you know whether you're doing good or wrong. You know, you can feel it when you do something wrong. You can feel it when you do something good. The heart is the center of the Taurus field. It's balance. And this is why you say follow your heart, because it's the center of the Taurus field. It's very important to listen to this inner voice inside of you, because that is telling you the right things to do, the good decisions to make. And when you keep following that voice, that good voice inside of you, it takes you to your life path. Very important to follow that voice. However, don't let the ego get in the way of it. Don't care what your friends are going to say. It's very important to understand this. So you have different ways of manipulating reality. You have sigil magic. This is where you create your own sigil or symbol. You create your own sigil and symbol, and then you charge it. You behind that symbol, you have an intention. So for example, if you want to manifest wealth, you create a sigil which represents what you want. You create that sigil, you draw it out, you charge it, because wherever your attention goes, energy flows. So whatever your attention is, you're sending energy that way. So what you do with your eyes and your hands, you place attention on the sigil. Imagine that it's glowing. Imagine that you're sending energy to the sigil. And then you burn the piece of paper once you've done this. And then after this, you meditate on that symbol. You constantly think about that symbol, because that symbol is the frequency, is the thing that you want to manifest. So that's one way. Or you can just meditate on your reality. So imagine yourself having already what you have. This is what they call a mindset. You must set your mind to the frequency what you want to manifest. Okay? So if you want to manifest wealth, for example, imagine yourself being wealthy. What would it feel like? What would you be doing? Imagine a scene in your mind. Constantly do this, and you're putting out that frequency. Like I said, you must think, because the thoughts are electric, and then you must feel, which is magnetic. Together, this creates an electromagnetic frequency, and this is how you attract things to you. You will attract the certain people to come in your life to bend reality to your will. Okay? Or you've got mirror magic. Stare yourself in the mirror, because a mirror reflects light. It also reflects energy. So you've got to be very careful with what you say to a mirror. You've got to be very, very, very careful, because whatever you send into that mirror is directly sent straight back to you. So if you're thinking negative, you're sending negative energy back straight to you, and that's going to have an effect on your reality. Affirmations are very important, because your words are frequency, your words are vibrations, and each word you say has a certain frequency. If it's positively charged, it's going to affect you positively. If it's negatively charged, because like I say, your brain and your mind is like the director of energy. That's what your brain is, and it directs energy into certain things. You can either positively charge it or negatively charge it, and this brain is creating your reality constantly. It's manifesting your reality constantly in the present moment. So this is what the government knows. The government know your mind is the root cause of reality. This is why they call themselves a government. The New World Order is not being manifested by them. They are controlling the information. They are controlling your perception of this reality. And they know the mind is the root cause of reality. Therefore, if they control your perception of reality and your information, what you believe, you're going to manifest that information, that perception. So we, the people as a collective consciousness, are the ones manifesting this New World Order. You see, so this isn't black magic. They're actually tricking us into manifesting their own their plans, this New World Order. You see, this is how smart these people are. They know how to get around the laws of reality. They know how to bend reality to their will without facing the consequences. They're getting humanity to do it. You see, there is a collective consciousness. As like I said, we all have that same spark of consciousness, right? So as a collective consciousness, we are on a very low vibration at the moment. However, we are waking up rapidly. There are more and more people waking up at the moment, and light always chases away the shadow. Light is a lot more powerful than darkness, you see. So one person waking up has a massive effect than one person being asleep. It has a profound effect. Because like I say, the light always chases away the darkness. It's more powerful. The light is always more powerful. High vibrations are more powerful than lower. So that's it for this, people. I hope you all enjoyed. This is a short, quick video. God bless you all.
Greetings everyone, it's Revival of Wisdom. I facilitate human enlightenment through occult and esoteric teachings. I hope this video expands your mind into a new field of thought. In this video, we're going to be discovering the true esoteric meaning of the 7 planetary energies. So let's jump straight into this. In order to fully understand this, you must understand the esoteric teaching of as above, so below, and as within, so without. Our inner world is mirrored into our external material reality. We have a physical voice, which you are hearing right now, and I also have an inner voice, which no one else can hear. The inner world is invisible, and the external world is visible. In other words, the inner world is the spiritual world, and the outer world is the material world. The inner world of ourselves reflects and projects our outer world, which means everything in our external reality is somewhat reflection of our internal self. You are made in the image and likeness of God. You yourself are the universe experiencing itself in a 3-dimensional physical form. The Newtonian science has programmed you to believe that you are a physical being inside of a physical universe. They did this to limit your mind to only believing there is a physical universe and that you are separate from the universe or God. But you yourself are the divine essence of the universe, experiencing itself in a physical plane, which means everything you see is inside of you, including the stars, the planets, and the elements. As above, so below. As within, so without. An example of this is the 4 physical elements: fire, earth, water, and air. In the external world, these are physical elements. In our internal world, they represent the 4 bodies of consciousness. We have 4 different bodies. We have a material body, we have a spiritual body, an emotional body, and a mental body. The mind is not made out of the same substance as the body. The emotions is not made out of the same substance of the mind and the body. These bodies exist in 4 different dimensions, 4 layers of consciousness. With that being said, the 4 physical elements are inside of us. The earth is our material physical body. Fire represents our spiritual astral light body. Water represents our transformative and emotional body. Air represents the mental body, the communicative and thinking body. This is the teaching as above, so below. If that resonates with you and you can comprehend it, please leave a like and a subscribe to this channel to see more content. And feel free to leave a comment on any video suggestions. Okay, so now we've gone over the 4 physical elements and how they correspond with your inner world of consciousness. This is going to make it easier for you to understand what the planets actually are. The planets are a bit more in-depth and more detailed aspects of our consciousness. The 4 physical elements are generic, but the 7 planets go deeper. They are deeper aspects of ourselves. On a macrocosmic scale, the 7 planets rule the material realm. Every object, every animal, every plant, every stone, everything we see in this plane is governed and created under one of the 7 planets. I don't really like calling them planets. They are energies. They are spiritual forces that drive things into existence. An example of this is if we look at a tree. The roots of the tree are governed by Saturn. The stem of the tree is governed by the sun. The leaves of the tree are governed by the moon. Any offspring or fruit of the tree is governed by Jupiter. Any defense mechanisms of the tree is governed by Mars. The communication and networking of the tree is governed by Mercury. The smell and the look of the tree is governed by Venus. Everything we see in this material plane is governed by one of these specific energies. Everything material has a spiritual force that brings it into physical existence. This is the reason why we have 7 days of creation in the Bible. The 7 days of the week, all governed by the planetary energies. Monday is Moon Day for the moon. Mars governs Tuesday. Mercury is Wednesday. Jupiter is Thursday. Venus is Friday. Saturn is Saturn Day. And Sunday is for the sun. This is the reason why there are so many sevens in this physical plane. 7 days of the week, the 7 colors, the 7 chakras, the 7 diatonic musical notes, the 7 lamps on the Jewish candlestick, the G inside of the Masonic square and compass. G is the 7th letter. Now let's go a little bit deeper into every planetary energy. Saturn in the external material plane governs the foundational and enduring aspects of existence, such as roots of plants, the bones of our body, and even the insects that dwell beneath the ground. Saturn represents the dull, hard, and unyielding forces of life, symbolizing structure, limitation, and conditioning. Under Saturn's influence, things become rigid, bound by restrictions and boundaries. This is the reason why Saturn is known as Father Time, because Saturn rules anything that is a restriction and a limitation, which is time. The whole of this material plane is governed by time. You will be born and you will die. This explains why there is so much Saturn symbology in this material plane. Saturn is one of the most important planetary energies. You are a spiritual being in a physical body. Your light, your consciousness is bound to the physical body until you learn how to escape the physical body. The body is a limitation for our infinite minds and spiritual bodies. Our infinite mind is stuck in this material body, governed by Saturn's limitation of time, matter, and space. Now let's dive into what Saturn means to our consciousness within our internal world. We've gone over what Saturn means in the external world. What does it mean to our consciousness? Internally, Saturn embodies the conditioning within our consciousness. When the Saturnian aspect of our consciousness dominates, we become overly rigid, fixated, and restricted in our thinking and actions. For example, Saturn's influence is strongly felt in today's world, where many people's minds are confined to societal norms and conditioned responses. Saturn is the aspect of our consciousness, our minds, such as limiting belief systems and limiting thoughts and emotions. This is the negative thought that you can't get rid of, that's holding you back. This is a Saturn aspect of our consciousness. However, this is not a negative thing. The Saturnian aspect of our consciousness is a great teacher, guiding us through difficult life lessons that ultimately lead us to growth and expansion. Saturn's energy allows us to experience and overcome fears and limitations so our minds can expand into new fields of thought, into new life. Although Saturn's energy is harsh and often challenging, it helps us develop resilience, discipline, and wisdom. However, in the modern day, this Saturnian energy has overpowered the minds of the masses, fostering excessive rigidity and limitation. This is why we see so much Saturn symbolism. It's literally everywhere because our minds are being dominated by the Saturnian limiting aspect of our consciousness. Now, let's move on to the moon. The moon, or lunar energy in the external material macrocosm plane, governs the elements of water, influencing the natural cycles such as the ocean tides, which rise and fall in harmony with the moon's phases. Beyond water, the moon also guides instinctual behaviors such as animal migrations. Birds, insects, and other creatures rely on the moon's subtle energies to navigate their journeys. For example, dung beetles use polarization patterns in the moonlight to orient themselves and travel safely home. The moon creates the months. M-O-N is moon. There are 28-day cycles, and this 28-day cycle of the moon is reflected in the woman's body, known as the menstrual cycle. The moon is a feminine energy, governing the feminine elements such as water and the feminine cycles of the body. The moon is the womb. This is why eggs have the same color as the moon, because eggs are ruled by the moon's energy. Now that's the external world. The internal world, the moon symbolizes the emotion aspect of our consciousness. It represents the subconscious mind, the seat of intuition and psychic abilities. Just like in the external world, things are born out of the moon, such as eggs and the womb. The subconscious mind acts as a womb for our conscious mind. Our deep subconscious emotions and programs are born into light into the conscious mind and controls the conscious mind. The moon represents our hidden psyche, our shadow self. Now let's go on to the sun. The sun represents the life force. In the material external world, the sun is ruling over pretty much all life. The sun gives life to all things. Without the sun, animals could not exist, the human body could not work, and plants would not grow. The sun is the life force. It's the soul of the world. Now, in our internal world of consciousness, the sun represents our passion, our drive, our conscious mind. The aspect of our internal world that wants to drive things and give life to physical manifestation. Now we go on to Mars energy. Mars is well known for being the god of war. Mars energy manifests into the material plane through anything that seeks to protect or defend itself. For example, the holly tree. The holly tree leaves are very sharp and they defend itself. Anything that is protective in the material world has Mars energy and is governed by this specific aspect of consciousness. For example, any predators or animals such as hedgehogs with spines on their backs for protection. Mars represents all things that is driven by conflict, aggression, and defense. Now, internally, inside of our inner world, Mars symbolizes the aspect of our consciousness that is focused on self-preservation and protection. Mars governs our ego, the instinctual urges of anger or maintaining reputation. Mars is not evil. It's necessary. Sometimes it's necessary for us to protect ourselves. Mars is the aspect of our consciousness that is anger, rage, the desire to fight or conquer. When this energy is activated within our consciousness, we become defensive, assertive, and even combative, ready to dominate others and destroy obstacles in our way. Now let's move on to Venus energy. Venus in the external material world manifests its energy through the aesthetics of creation. This planet governs the beauty and harmony found in nature, including the nurturing environment of a mother's womb where life begins. Venus embodies the essential love, not only in romantic relationships, but also in the bonds between family members and all living beings. Venus represents relationships. We have relationships between plants, animals. They all depend on each other to give life. Plants provide food and medicine, while living creatures contribute to their own growth and pollination. Internally, Venus represents the aspect of our consciousness that yearns for relationships and connections with others. This is an aspect of our consciousness that encourages to care for our physical appearance and embracing beauty. Aesthetics play a role in our interactions and self-expression. This is why there is a beauty brand called Venus. Now let's move to Jupiter energy. Jupiter in the material plane manifests its energy as forces of fortune, abundance, and wealth. This energy manifests itself as plants, as fruits that we can consume and eat in abundance. Anything that is nourishing and cultivated by the earth for humanity and animals. Jupiter embodies the giving energy that provides for and sustains life, fostering growth and ensuring that resources are available to all. Its influence is seen in the natural cycles of abundance, where fruits must grow and ripen before they are enjoyed, symbolizing the importance of effort and patience. Internally, in our spiritual world, Jupiter represents the aspect of our consciousness that yearns for abundance and seeks growth in various aspects of our lives, including wealth, knowledge, and personal development of the mind, spirit, and the soul. This is the aspect of our consciousness that wants to gain wealth, that wants to gain expansion and abundance in our lives. However, when Jupiter's energy dominates our consciousness excessively, it can lead to feelings of stinginess and greed. It represents material possession. The last planet is Mercury. Mercury in the external world governs the vital elements such as seeds, air, communication, education, and electricity. Known as the messenger of the gods, Mercury rules over intellect, communication, and the transmission of knowledge. Mercury's states of consciousness manifests itself in the material plane as the network between trees and plants, how they all communicate together. It represents the intelligence behind all physical things. It's the intelligence behind the seed that allows it to grow into a plant. Mercury's creative energy is manifested in the nervous system of the human body and all living animals, the intricate messenger that transmits signals from the body to the brain and then to the mind. This intelligence within us allows us to facilitate thought and movement. Internally, in our spiritual aspects of consciousness, Mercury is the state of consciousness that seeks knowledge, understanding, and intellectual growth and expansion. This part of us is curious, eager to learn, and driven to communicate ideas and information. It represents our mental body. The Roman god Mercury is often depicting flying because this symbolizes the air. Air represents our mental body. When the Mercury aspect of our consciousness dominates, we become highly intellectual, constantly seeking information, analyzing situation, and communicating our ideas. While this can enhance our understanding and ability to interact with the world, an excess of Mercury's influence can lead to overthinking, excessive analysis, and focus on intellect over emotions or intuition. Okay, so they are the 7 planetary energies in the external world and your internal world of consciousness. These energies are manifested in the Roman mythology as human beings. They are depicted as human beings, but this is nothing but symbolism. These gods never existed physically. They represent aspects of our consciousness and spiritual forces that govern the material plane. Every material object, every intelligence, every piece of life in this universe is governed and brought into existence by one of these spiritual forces. Now, I hope this video has expanded your mind into a new realm of thought. Make sure to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more occult and esoteric information. You can read more about this topic and many more occult and esoteric teachings inside of my books, the Book of Wisdom Volume 1 and the Book of Wisdom Volume 2. I honestly advise that not everyone reads these books. These are books which will completely transform your view on reality. You will feel a lot better reading these books because you will find a connection with yourself and the universe. Understanding truth and knowing thyself gives you a sense of well-being. Like I said, this is not just a book. This is a beginning of your journey of expansion and growth. Reading them can be life-changing. Inside my university, I host live calls where you can ask me questions, and you can watch all the pre-recorded live calls. You also gain the ability to manifest your own reality through the Manifestation Mastery course. There is also a library with all of the PDFs that I've read in the past of occultism, symbolism, and esotericism that you can gain access to. There is a whole lecture section where you can watch all of my occult lectures. This is a place of transformation. The price of the university will be going up very soon. If you join now, you will gain a free sexual alchemy course which will teach you how to transmute sexual energy into creativity. I'll leave all the links in the description for the university and also my website where you can get my books. I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care.
Welcome back, people. We're back with another video. Let's jump straight into this. Make sure to tune in till the end because this has got so much information in this video. So sit back and enjoy. So everything's Taurus fields. The Earth's a Taurus field. Everything's Taurus, which is electromagnetic field, electric and magnetic. The center of the torus field is where the two opposing forces meet in the center. And this is what creates the plane of inertia, the dielectric plane of inertia. Okay? You got red shift, blue shift, positive, negative, south and north pole, right? This is what the ancients were showing with the tree of life. As you can see here, this is the plane of inertia and this is the torus field. Everything consists of this. Everything is a torus field. A atom is a torus field. Okay, now the inertia is the 0 point. So this plane is a 0 point. It's the balance between two poles. Okay, now this creates matter because matter is two opposing forces in motion equalized. So these two forces coming together is what creates matter on this physical plane. And this is why we can't see the electromagnetic field, because it consists of one of the elements, which is either electric or magnetic, but when they combine together, it's what creates this physical plane, which is physical matter, which is light in motion. Now, everything is one. Don't get confused by duality. Duality is two opposing forces, but them two opposing forces are created by the same substance. It's two aspects of the same substance. So for example, water and ice are the same thing, you know what I'm trying to say, but it's two aspects of the same substance, because all is one. The whole universe is one. All goes back to the one, which is God, the creator, or magnetism, whatever you want to call it, because magnetism pulsates. Electricity has two poles, red shift, blue shift. Okay, so red shift, blue shift is electricity, and electricity vibrates, and all vibration always comes back to a standstill point. But magnetism is what pulsates. This is why your heart pulses. You breathe, which is a pulse. This is the breath of the universe, magnetism. Now, this is why the earth is green, okay? Earth can be spelt heart. If you just move the H to the beginning, it spells heart, okay? Because the heart is the center of the torus field, which is the heart chakra for us humans, okay? We consist of the same field, as you already know. Heart being the center, which is green, which is the center of the 7 colors. The center of the 7 colors. This is the most powerful chakra in your body. People think it's the crown chakra, but it's the heart chakra because it's the center of the torus field. You must align them all and combine them all into one, which is the heart chakra. Now, earth is green. Nature's green. Okay, this is because we live on heart chakra, the plane of inertia. It's the center of the torus field. Okay, and this is what the Egyptians called Isis, which is nature. Nature is balanced, and nature is female, mother nature, because it looks after us with the fruit it grows with abundance, and the water. It's a female energy, mother nature, and this is the symbolism of an equal, balanced arms. This is the scales, it's balanced. Mother nature is balanced. This is why the sky is blue, because what comes after the heart chakra? Blue. Sky is blue. We live in Midgard. This is what the ancients called Midgard. You don't have to take this tree literally. It's a metaphor. We live in Midgard, where both positive and negative duality here. Now, Mount Meru. Mount Meru was known as the center of the earth, okay, or known as Hyperborea. And this is the North Pole, the electromagnetic North Pole. But when I say Mount Meru, it's not an actual mountain. They weren't saying there was a real mountain in the center of the earth, a magnetic rock. No. The plane of inertia, okay, there's something called a hyperboloid. That's what it's called, a hyperboloid. And this is the center of the torus field. And this hyperboloid is what is in the shape of a mountain, you see? So if I go to this next one, they say Hyperborea on this map. Why do they call it Hyperborea? Because this is the hyperboloid in the center of the torus field, and this is the electromagnetic mountain, a metaphor. Mountain, what they're metaphorically saying, this is the electromagnetic mountain at the center, the double vortex, the center of the torus field, which is the North Pole. Pole of electromagnetic energy. So this is why they call it Hyperborea. It comes from the word hyperboloid. And the center of the earth is so sacred, and they symbolize this with obviously the North Star, which is Polaris, and this is where the swastika comes from, because it's the 4 seasons moving around the North Star. This is the Big Dipper constellation moving around the North Star, which is Polaris. There's that pole again, pole, magnetic pole of the torus field. And this is where the green, emerald green, aurora borealis comes from. It comes from this center hyperboloid at the center of the earth, where the most electromagnetic energy is stored, the center of the plane of inertia, the center of the plane of inertia. This is the all-seeing eye as well. As you can see, they got the sun, the moon, this is the Masonic cosmos, the sun, the moon, and the all-seeing eye, because the eye is Polaris, the eye of the stars. It's all a big eye. Now, the eye means a lot more as well. It's not just that. There's different ways you can interpret symbols. Now, this is the emerald tablets. Deep in Earth's heart lies the flower, the source of the spirit that binds all in its form. Okay? The flower of life is thine own place of thine spirit, and stream through the earth as thine flows through thy form, giving off life to the earth and its children, renewing the spirit from form unto form. This is the North Pole. This is what he's talking about. He's talking about the aurora borealis. Aurora borealis. It's the earth's aura. Emerald green. Heart chakra. Plane of inertia. Green. Earth. Heart. You see? All related. Now, there's many symbolism of this. So much symbolism of the ancients. The 7 layers of heaven. 7 layers of heaven, which are the 7 planets. Okay? These planets are the solar system. It's the solar system because we are the soul. We are the sun, the soul. And we're inside of a solar system, which is the 7 planets. That's why there's 7 layers of heaven. Okay? The rings of Saturn, the rings of the planets are moving around us. Okay? So, this is what the ancients were depicting in their cosmology. Now, this is the Hebrew cosmology of the earth. This is the Mayan cosmology of the earth. You see, it's all an enclosed system. We live inside of a giant torus field. All is atum. It's what the ancients said, ancient Egyptians said. All is atum. Atoms are torus fields. Don't be tricked by the modern science today with the current model of an atom. It's completely wrong. They're hiding the torus field. They're hiding the electromagnetic field, which is in everything. Absolutely everything is in motion, and motion comes from this field. And you see, this is upside down, but this is I think it's pretty sure it's candles, but the 7 candles, the 7 planets, the 7 Elohim. You see? It all goes back to the stars and the heavens. Now, this is how the earth really works, with the stars on the outside of the cosmic egg, and then the torus field spinning around the sun and the moon, the positive and the negative charge. The sun gives you energy, the moon takes your energy. The moon controls monthly cycles. Moon is mon. This is etymology. Mon, month, money, demon, monster. Stir is star, moon star. We are all stars. Youngster, minister, superstar, Hollywood star. We're all stars. We come from the stars, which is heaven. Our soul comes from the stars. You see? We are the universe. The image of man is made in the universe. We are a microcosm of the universe. The universe is a macro. We are micro. We consist of everything. The body, mind and spirit. The sun, the soul. Moon, the mind. Earth, the body. Body, mind and spirit. We have 12 systems in the body, which are governed by the 12 zodiac signs. Starting at the Aries, which is the ram of God, all the way down to Pisces and Capricorn, kneecap. It all goes back to the stars. We are the stars. We are the universe. Everything is inside of us. Everything. Like I say, the Temple of Solomon, the Temple of the Soul and Man. The soul, the temple is the body. The soul is the soul, and the Man is the mind. The temple of the soul and the mind. Body, mind, and spirit. We consist of the 5 elements: air, spirit, water, earth, and fire. We consist of everything. We are the universe. We're made in God's image, which is the universe. You see? Now, everything goes back to the stars. The ancients worship the stars because the stars govern everything. They govern the systems in the body. They govern your life. This is why your zodiac is so important, your sign. Each zodiac has a specific element associated with it as well. Aries, which is the first sign, the Ram of God, the Lamb of God, which is a fire sign. Fire first. F-I-R, this is etymology. The cerebrum, ram, which is in the brain. Aries, the ram, controls the head, the face, and the nose upwards. So it controls the cerebrum. The Torah, which is, I'm pretty sure it's the Hebrew Bible, which is the Taurus. Tornado comes from the Taurus field. You see? Everything's inside of you. It all goes back to the Taurus field, and the Taurus field is everything. Now, like I said, 12 zodiac signs, 12 systems, 12 cranial nerves in the brain, the 12 disciples of the Bible. All symbolic. You have to read the Bible properly. Now, this center, at the center of the earth, right? This is what's stirring the ether, and the ether consists of the 4 elements. Because there's 5 elements. Spirit can be called ether. People call it spirit or ether. Ether is pure potential, pure energy. It's what connects the astral to the physical. It's the dimension between the physical realm, which we're on, and the astral. So it has pure potential. It's pure energy. This is why we say either. I either want to go there or there. It's connecting 2 scenarios. That's what the ether is. It's connecting the 2 worlds, the astral and the physical. The center is like the cosmic womb. There's a black hole in the center. This is the center of the Taurus field. This is the womb of creation. This is the womb of creation. And inside of this black womb with the 5 elements, and everything's being stirred around. Everything's in motion. Light is motion. Everything's motion. Now, like I said earlier, light crystallizes into physical matter. They are the same substance. Spirit and matter are the same substance, but different variations, different aspects of the same substance. Low vibrational spirit turns into matter. High vibrational matter turns into spirit. Or light, whatever you want to call it. Matter is light crystallized. This is where we get the 7 metals from. The planets. The planets are light. Specific frequencies and vibrations of light. When these lights, or the planets, materialize, material metals materialize, they turn into the 7 metals. Saturn turns into lead. That's why lead is red. Saturn is red. The sun turns into gold. That's why the gold is yellow and the sun is yellow. You see, Saturn is the time god. What happens in autumn? The leaves turn red and they die. This is why Satan, time god, the reaper, everything is crystallized till its death and then reborn again. You see, rust. When things rust, it turns to red. Because it's Saturn. Saturn crystallizes everything. He's the Reaper who comes around in winter. You see? He's Satan. Jesus and Satan, the Sun and Saturn. They say we live in a solar system. The solar system. I think I've already just broke this down. The 7 planets are the 7 chakras. Everyone already knows this. But I'm going through it anyway. But this is where we get the 7 planets from. And the 7 metals. You see, all the ancients knew it was an enclosed electromagnetic system. It's not a spinning ball in the middle of space, people. They want you to believe this so you get stuck in this material world. Because if you believe everything's material, you can never affect this plane effectively. You can never create your life effectively. You don't understand the planes of existence. Because the mental plane is a higher plane. And it breaks down and it controls the planes below it. The mental plane, hold on, I've got it here for you. The mental, the astral, etheric, and physical. Etheric connects the physical to the astral, but the mental is what's above them all. You see? Now, it's important to understand this. It's important. However, the ancients always talked about the enclosed system. Only NASA, which is introduced around the Roman times, not NASA, but the globe Earth was introduced around the Roman times. Okay? By these Masons. These Masons introduced this because they wanted to take over the minds of the masses and control them. These people worship the physical realm. They know how it works. They know the ins and outs of it. They know how to do the magic. They know how to do it all. They understand it all. That's why Masonry have to take the oath. The oath of not speaking. You're not allowed to speak about anything you learn about in Masonry. Because they're discovering the truth about your mind and how it creates reality and stuff like that. So, this is the Masonic Cosmology. The 5-pointed star, the 5 elements. The checkerboard for duality, positive and negative. The 2 aspects of every substance. This is another ancient painting depicting the firmament. The stars inside the firmament. The sun. You see, the ancients worshipped the sun because it's so important for sustaining our life. It's the only reason we're alive is because of the sun. But then people think it gives you cancer today. They brainwash you to think the sun gives you cancer when it's the #1 source of all life. They want you to believe it's a big, spinning, dangerous ball in space. It's not. It's here to give us life. It's God's Son. That's why Jesus is known as God's Son. It is the Son of God. God created that to sustain us. You see? So it's important you understand the true cosmology of where you are, because if you don't know where you are depleted of all of your morals. You're depleted. You're demoralized. You're lost. You don't know where you are. You don't know where you exist. Okay? Once you accept the globe model, the heliocentric model, you will subconsciously think that you come from nothing. This is why they implemented the evolution theory just after the globe model was introduced by Charles Darwin. Charles Darwin came in after the globe model. He's a Mason, he was another Freemason, and implemented evolution where we came from monkeys, because they want you thinking less of yourself so they can manipulate your mind. You see? They want to manipulate your mind, and they have done since you got here. Since you came through that portal, you were manipulated from that day to believe this, believe that. The true cosmology, the truth will set you free. You will understand things better. You will feel better in yourself when you know the sun is here for you. You'll feel better in yourself that you know that you didn't come from a monkey. You were created as a human, a manifester, a creator. You're so intelligent. Your mind is amazing. You can manipulate matter, mind over matter. See? Thank you all people for tuning in. Tap in with yourself. Love yourself. Find the truth. Spread the truth. Nothing dies. Nothing in this creation dies. Everything's energy. Everything's light. Light can never die. You're a light being. That's why it says Q. Q man. Q is light in Hebrew or Latin. Either one of the two. You are light. You're a light being. You never die. Ever, ever, ever die. Ever. Stop thinking you're going to die. This body will die because it contains electricity. And electricity always goes back to a standstill point because of vibration. Electricity vibrates. You are pure light. You will never ever die. Thank you all, people. God bless. Make sure to like, subscribe and share.
Welcome to Revival of Wisdom.
What is good, people? Is Revival of Wisdom. We're back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the importance of Saturn and the occult. Let's jump straight into this. So Saturn is the god of the earth, right? It's the time of God, change, destruction, physical matter. He creates and destroys because the energy of Saturn is the key to crystallization. It wraps things in physical matter, right? He creates everything, all life forms, and he takes things back because the day that you're born, that's the day that your expiry date is coming. The time is ticking until Saturn takes your life. This is why he's known as the Reaper. Okay? As he's personified as eating his child here in this ancient Roman painting. As you can see, he's eating the child. We are all children of Saturn, right? He creates physical matter, our physical bodies, right? He's the god of time because he's the slowest moving celestial body. He's the Lord of the Rings, as you can see here. He's the last one on the ring. He's the slowest one moving, okay? So, he is the Lord of time, destruction and creation, okay? This is why his name is Saturn, Satan. He's the devil, okay? But I'm not saying Saturn's evil, guys. It's a part of life. Everything lives and dies, right? He's the key to crystallization. Now, as we have the clock here, our god Saturn, or Chronos in Greek, just means time. He's also the god of time, as I've already said. 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours in a day. Add 2 plus 4 equals 6. 60 seconds, 60 minutes, 2 plus 4 equals 6. That's 666. Okay? And as you see on the clock, 6 take away 12 equals 6. 7 take away 1 equals 6. 9 take away 3 equals 6. 6 is the number of Saturn. It's associated with Saturn, right? He's the god of time, of justice. Everything goes back to the Reaper in the end. Everything lives and dies. Now, the artwork of him, he's always got the Reaper staff. You see, it's personifying death. Now, when you see this, the Romans were not saying Saturn was a real person, a real god in human form. No, this is personification. This is what the ancients always did. They personified, just like the Bible. It's all personification. So the personifying Saturn eating its children because it eats, it's the Reaper. No one can escape the Reaper. No one can escape death. Now, Saturn is 666, which is in the Bible, the number of the beast, right? The number of the beast, Satan, 666, right? So on the North Pole of Saturn, you have a hexagon which makes a cube, right? Now this hexagon, when you join up all the corners, creates the six-pointed star known as the Star of David, right? In the Jewish religion. Now, as you can see, the six-pointed star has 6 points, 6 mini triangles, and a 6-sided hexagon. That makes 666. And also, your Saturday is named after Saturn, the 6th planet, the 6th day of the week, and has a 6-sided polygon in its north pole. That's also 666. Now, this Star of David, this symbol goes back thousands of years, and it originates from Saturn. It's not the Star of David, right? It originates from Saturn. It symbolizes the physical and spiritual aspect combined into one, which makes us humans, right? Also symbolizes the male and female combined into one. These two sacred energies create the human. We consist of both male and female energy, also known as the Seal of Solomon. And we all know, if Solomon was a real person, he talks about communicating with 72 demons. He could apparently, in the text, he could communicate with 72 demons, and this is sorcery. This is black magic. Now, this symbol is associated with hexing people. When you place a hex on someone, that is a form of witchcraft, which a hex is just a curse. When you're cursing someone, this is black magic. Now, the black magician would stand in the middle of the symbol and cast his spells onto other people. Now, this symbol is obviously on the $1 bill, twice on the $1 bill. And it's very, very ancient symbol, and it originates from Saturn. And let's keep going. So the cube. So I've just said how you see the cube on the North Pole of Saturn, right? The cube is limited. It's a 3D shape. It symbolizes limitations to the physical 3D dimension, the third dimension, the physical realm which we are in. Now, as you can see, the color associated with Saturn is black, right? Black is infinite potential. Black is the creation of all things. Before there was light. Light is born out of blackness, darkness, okay? Now, black is physical matter. And as you can see, the black cube, black symbolizing physical matter, the cube being limited, as the physical realm that we are in is limited. It's not like the fourth dimension where everything can exist in a thought. The third dimension is limited, right? And this is what Saturn is. It limits you to the 3D 666. Your body limits you to your physical body. Now, these black cubes are placed everywhere. As you can see, Australia, Denmark, Manhattan. There's one in New York. As you can see, the Apple have a cube. The Nintendo GameCube. Trump Tower is a black cube. This is worshipping the energy of Saturn, the god Saturn. Okay, it's not a god, it's a celestial energy. However, it rules over Earth because it pretty much created the physical realm. Now, as you see, when you go to a funeral, you wear black, a black suit symbolizing Saturn, which is the color associated, black. And as you see in Mecca, they walk around the black cube in rings. As you can see here, they're stood around in rings, like the Saturn, the rings of Saturn. The Mercedes symbol. You probably wouldn't notice that, but yes, it's Saturn. And when you graduate from university, you wear a black cube on your head. This is all symbolizing Saturn. Okay? Now, As you can see, the Jews here have a black cube on their third eye whilst they pray. Notice how he's shutting his eyes into blackness, darkness, and he's wrapped around a black strap around his arm. This is symbolizing the wrapping of physical matter, of how physical matter wraps things into existence. And as we all know, the Star of David is a Jewish symbol. So he has the black cube and the Star of David, right? So all of these religions are secretly worshipping Saturn. Okay, this is all Saturn worship, Kronos, the god of time and destruction, the physical reality. Now, as you can see, it's symbolized everywhere in all major corporations. Pepsi, internet, that's obvious. NASA, of course, NASA. NASA means to deceive in Hebrew. Universal, Walkers, that one's so obvious. Nike, Toyota. So many different ways they symbolize it. You either see the rings of Saturn or the black cube, as I just showed you here, the Nintendo and the Mercedes, right? It's absolutely everywhere. Now, they also use 666 to symbolize it, as I've just broken it down to you. 666, the World Economic Forum. We all know how they're trying to enslave us into this new world agenda. Google Chrome, CERN, Disney, Coca-Cola, Cadbury's, all of these have 666. Now every UPS barcode has 666, and even www. is Hebrew for 666, as you can see here. Monster, it's the same Hebrew letter that means 666. Drake, 6 god, that's his god, Saturn. Why? Because they love physical realm, they love the physical dimension, the third dimension, because they can rule here through riches. They can build an empire here. It's not like the fourth dimension. They don't want to ascend. They want to stay down here in the physical realm. Okay? Now this is why they're cloning. They can move their consciousness into other clones to live forever. This technology exists. This is why they love the third dimension. As you can see, all of these sellouts here, Drake, Leonardo DiCaprio, you know, all of these people doing 666 because this is their god. This is their god. They love the physical realm. They sold their souls for wealth and fame in this physical realm. So why would they leave? You see? Now, this isn't all just evil, okay? So you have 7 chakras, right? You have 7 days of the week, 7 solfeggio scale notes. These are frequencies, the solfeggio scale. Now, it's called the Saturn moon matrix because the moon symbolizes your mind, because you're created out of the Holy Trinity, which is body, mind, and spirit, right? That's the triangle, the equal triangle, body, mind, and spirit. Now, the 3 main celestial bodies are Earth, Moon, and Sun. The Earth being your physical body, the Moon being your mind, and the Sun is your soul, hence why it's called solar. It's a solar soul. Now, these symbols are alchemical symbols, so when you're doing alchemy, you use these symbols to obviously symbolize what we're talking about. Now, as you can see, these are all the symbols of the planets. Now, Saturn is created out of the moon on top, the moon on the bottom and the earth on top, as you can see here. You see? And this creates the number 5. Now, with the moon being your mind and the earth being your physical body, this is mind over matter, because the earth is your body's matter. This is matter over mind. You don't want to be matter over mind. This is low states of consciousness. You want the mind over matter, you see, to manipulate matter, to create your own reality. Now, obviously, we all know Saturn is associated with the lowest chakra, which is the root chakra. This is to deal with your animal instincts. When you're down here, you identify as the physical body. You don't know anything spiritual. You're you have a pure physical mind. You don't believe in anything spiritual. This is survival mode, consumption. They want you trapped down here, which is matter over mind. They don't want you to create your own reality, which is mind over matter. You see? Now, that's what Jupiter is. Saturn is the moon on the bottom and the earth on top. But Jupiter is the moon on top with the earth on the bottom. That's mind over matter, you see? So, these chakras are an ascension process from matter, physical matter to spiritual. This is the ascension. This is the stairway to heaven. This is Jacob's ladder, you see. Now, the number 5, which is obviously associated with Saturn as well, which create the symbol for Saturn, created the number 5. You have 5 senses, 5 elements, 5 physical elements. As we all know, Saturn crystallizes everything into physical matter out of the 4 elements. 5 fingers and toes, 5 points of man. Okay, the number 5 is the number of justice. Saturn holds things back. He restrains things from you, makes you learn the lesson. Now, 666 is not all evil. 666 is the atomic structure of the carbon atom. 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, right? We are carbon-based life forms. All life forms are based on the bonding properties of the element carbon. Because Saturn crystallizes everything into physical matter. Now, the Masons symbolize this with the checkered boards. They have the black square, which is obviously matter, as I just said, the black cube, and spirit is the white square, because white is eternal light. White and light, you see. Black is physical matter. Now, this is what we are. The point of our soul is to transmute from matter to spirit, but these are interchangeable. This is the constant cycle between spirit and matter, spirit and matter. High vibrational matter turns into spirit. Low vibrational spirit turns into physical matter. You see? Now, we are carbon-based life forms. This is what 666 is, the number of the beast. Well, when I say we, the physical body is the beast. It's the animal. It's the carbon suit to operate in this physical dimension, in this physical realm. See? It's the vehicle used to operate in this physical realm. But your mind isn't from this physical realm, you see? The brain is the physical manifestation of the soul. Okay? So, as you can see here, the spine is an extension of the brain. Everything goes back to the brain. This is literally what your physical body is. You see, this is the nervous system, and everything reports back to the brain, and everything's controlled from this control center. And this spinal column, at the top of the spinal column, is your third eye, which is known as the pineal gland. And this is the seat of consciousness. It's the center of consciousness. That is your true self, pure consciousness. This body is just a physical body. This body is mortal. This body runs out, but your consciousness lives forever. They don't want you knowing this. This is why they keep you down here in your lower chakra. They want you to believe everything is just physical. They don't want you to believe in the spiritual side of reality. Because this way they can manipulate you, right? They want you matter over mind because they know your mind creates reality. They know your mind is the root cause of reality. You manifest your own reality from the inside out. So this is why they control your perception of reality. They control your information in order to manifest their new world order. You, who are ignorant to knowledge and wisdom, you who are ignorant are manifesting their agenda because you accept their information and their perception of this reality. Now, this is why they tell you the globe model, the heliocentric model, to trap you into physical matter. Now, if you understood about this true form of this realm, you'd understand that there's a spiritual side behind everything. The spiritual side, something has to exist. The root cause of reality is higher planes of existence. It happens in the mind before it happens on the physical plane. You see? They don't want you knowing this. They want you matter over mind, which is the symbol for Saturn. Moon over Earth. The Holy Trinity. Now, as you can see, the cube also makes IXXI. This is Roman numerals. This is Roman numerals, and when it's translated from 9/11. Yes, 9/11. This is the secret code of the One World Order. The two twin towers, when the two become one. Okay, when the two become one, this is how you reach the higher states of consciousness, the physical and spiritual. Now, as you can see, the 9/11 memorial are two black cubes. It's two black cubes. This is all Saturn worship. Now, I'm not saying that Saturn is an evil celestial body, right? No, everything has a good side and a bad side, right? It's duality. The spirits of Saturn on the dark side are the most evil demonic spirits. Now, these are the spirits that these are invoking through these rituals, right? Yes, 9/11 was a massive ritual. It's a satanic ritual, okay? Now, we all know Elon Musk. Elon Musk is coming with the mark of the beast. In English gematria, this equals 666, right? 666, as I said, is the number of the beast. You are the beast, your physical body. You see how the Bible twisted things up to make things more confusing, right? But it's there. You just have to have the knowledge to be able to read the Bible properly. As we all know, we had this virus. I'm not going to say the name because I'll get flagged. This virus adds up to 666 because this is all part of the New World Order. It's all part of keeping you in this physical dimension. Okay? Now, as you can see here, Novus Ordo Seclorum on the back of his shirt, on Elon Musk's shirt. This is also on the $1 bill, Novus Ordo Seclorum. This means New World Order. Yes, New World Order. This is on the back of Elon Musk's shirt. And as you can see here, he owns Neuralink, which is the brain chip which they're going to be putting into implanting this onto your brain. This is the New World Order, to connect you and merge your consciousness with AI. Neuralink and Meta, he owns Meta as well, which is the metaverse. These are going to be linked in, hence why they have the same symbol, but just in a different format. It's the infinity symbol. And the infinity symbol comes from the torus field, as you can see here, your electromagnetic field from around your body. Now, the end goal is for this New World Order is to trap your consciousness inside of an alternative reality being projected from the metaverse. Because the metaverse will be the reality, Neuralink will be the brain chip inside of your brain, projecting your consciousness into an alternative reality while they harness your energy of your physical 666 body. Now this stuff gets real deep, people. Now this is the end goal of the New World Order, is to connect you with AI. This is why they're trapping you and keeping you in these lower states of consciousness in the Saturn associated root chakra, so you don't find out about the spiritual side of reality. Because if you knew the truth of this reality, you wouldn't connect to AI. You see, you have the power within you to travel to other worlds, the astral plane, for example. You travel to different worlds when you are sleeping. Okay? They want you to know it's just a dream. However, their end goal is to trap your consciousness and feed off your energy, spiritually and physically. Okay? I don't know why these people are just pure evil. As I said, evil love bondage. They love the physical dimension. They don't want to ascend to other realms. These evil love the third dimension. This is why evil spirits will inhabit bodies, exorcisms, because they miss being in the physical realm. They miss it. Evil love bondage. So this is why they're cloning and putting their consciousness in clones to stay in this third dimension, to stay as further away from the source as possible. Okay? This is why they're doing it, and this is how it's all linked in. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Hope you gained some wisdom. Please feel free to join the Telegram, and please leave a like and a subscribe. Thank you all, people. God bless. What is up, people? How are we all doing? Today we're talking about the flat earth cosmology. So let's jump straight into this. Please drop a follow and leave a like to help the algorithm. So we live in a torus field. Everything's made out of torus fields, and every torus field has motion. It's what it is. It's the motion of energy. And every torus field has a center, which is the black hole. It's a womb of creation. It's counter space. Now this is why the North Pole is magnetic, because the center of this torus field is the most magnetic part, the strongest part of the field. So this is why all compasses will point you to the center. And the Earth's magnetic field is spread across the whole of the Earth. And it's spinning, as you can see here. It's like a tornado at the center. And this tornado is the force which is spinning the sun and the moon around us. You got the sun, the moon, Polaris, just like in the Masonic cosmos here. The sun, the moon, Polaris, the all-seeing eye. Now we'll get into Polaris a bit later, but the sun is the magnetic force. Sorry, is the electric force, because every field is electromagnetic. Now, The sun is electric, it's positively charged, it's gonna give you energy. It's feeding energy. The moon is more magnetic energy, which is taking your energy away from you. And this is why you become sleepy when the moon comes out. Because it's taking away your energy. So these two forces is the balance, it's the yin and yang. It's the balance. Everything in this creation is balanced. Because the torus field is the earth is the plane of inertia, the 0 point within the field. Because physical matter is a result of two opposing forces equalized on the plane of inertia. And that is where matter crystallizes into physical results. And this physical plane is the plane of inertia, planet Earth. And at the center of this plane is the black hole, the womb of creation. And outside of this black hole gives birth to light. So the torus field is constantly rotating, going into counter space, the black hole, and then out of counter space gives birth to the white hole, white light. You see? So it's going around, black hole, birth again, black hole, birth again. And it just keeps going around. It's an infinite cycle of energy. And this is where the infinity sign comes from. This is the motion, this is the force which is creating everything to spin inside of this circle. Okay? And it's making the stars spin. It's making the sun and moon spin around us, around this center point. Now here you see Horus and Set putting their feet inside of this dome. This is the royal arch, the arch of the dome above us, which is like you see in the Masonic cosmos, the royal arch of Freemasonry. This is the dome above us, the firmament that the Bible talks about. You see, they're putting their feet in because Set symbolizes the moon and Horus is the sun. Horizon, Horus. Horus is rising, the sun. So they're both putting their feet around this center magnetic pole, which is the pole, North Pole. And above the North Pole, you have Polaris, the pole of electromagnetic energy. You see? And this is how we get the sun and the seasons. Because the sun, for us, when it becomes summer, it's on the Tropic of Cancer. Then it spirals outwards, going out and out and out, then goes to the Tropic of Capricorn. That's winter for us. Then it comes back in and creates summer again. So it's constantly spiraling around this center magnetic North Pole. You see? So this roof above our heads is the firmament, and this is what they've taken off of us. They haven't physically taken it, but mentally they have taken this away from you. It's a female energy, and this is what the Egyptians called Nut, the sky god Nut. And this is the womb. We are inside God's creation, God's womb, and the woman's womb when she has a baby is a microcosm of this, because everything inside of this creation is macro. It's a reflection of the bigger things, as above, so below. So the dome above our heads is the dome we are in when we are a baby, and you can see the sacred geometry of it is the exact same. It's the dome. And when we are inside of the womb, the woman, the sacred maker, which is the M, the Masonic M, this is the G-male symbol. The Masonic M is maker, mason, matter, male. She delivers the male, you see? She delivers the male because it's the maker, the female, the magnetic. The woman is magnetic in nature, the male is electric in nature. So when we are in this womb, the female, we are being fed by the center umbilical cord, by the center of the mother's stomach. We're connected to the center of the woman's stomach, just like we are when we are in the earth. The center is where the aurora borealis is being emitted from, the electromagnetic aurora borealis, the northern lights. This is our spiritual umbilical cord, connecting us to counter space, connecting us to the realms beyond this world. Because at the center of every torus field is counter space. And at the center of the earth is our spiritual umbilical cord, and this is the earth's belly button, as you see. As above, so below. We had a physical umbilical cord, we have a spiritual umbilical cord, and this gets cut when we die. when we're cut away from the physical reality. You see, here's the ancient tablet, ancient Egyptian tablet showing this female. You can see the hair, it's a female above us, because the female energy is nurturing, helping, looking after. And that's exactly what the dome is. It's protecting us. It's the Ark of the Covenant, the Ark covering us, you see? And this is what they've taken away from us. By you believing in space, it completely destroys the idea of this being a sacred creation. They've taken the roof off your head, whether if you believe in space, you believe that there's chaos, there's planets, there's asteroids that could kill us at any moment. But this isn't true. They've made you fear your own creation that you're inside of. They've made you fear what's above you. You see, and it's to hide the power of astrology, the power of the lights in the firmament, which are constantly flowing through the ether. These powers which are above us are sending rays down to the earth, which are influencing our psychology and how we behave. And this is what astrology is. It affects human consciousness. It interacts with our consciousness. And there's a different energy every day because the planets are in different houses, different alignments. And this is, we'll go into this a bit deeper later on. So the world tree, this magnetic north pole, the pole of electromagnetic energy, was symbolized as a tree, the great tree at the center of the earth. You see? And this tree is symbolized everywhere. You can see here how the center person, this Egyptian person, is holding up the sky. This is the North Pole, the hyperboloid, at the center of every Taurus field. And this tree was in the Mayan cosmology. This is an ancient depiction. This is the Taurus field. There's the plane of inertia. There's the center tree. Here's the tree in the center, the magnetic North Pole, the woman holding the stars. Is the Hindu, with the two birds symbolizing the sun and the moon revolving around this center tree. The Mayan tree, his Horus and Set around the North Pole. They all knew this flat earth cosmology. They knew these secrets. It's so sacred you understand the creation that you're inside of. Because if you don't, you'll be led astray. You don't know where you are. You're lost. You see? And here's the Masonic art, with the rays of the stars coming down, with the tree in the center. So it was personified as a tree. And we are in Asgard, Midgard, the middle garden, where there's good and evil. So the 7 layers of heaven, which is talked about in the Quran. Each planet has a different layer of the firmament, and this is the 7 layers of heaven, and these are our 7 layers of the energy centers in our body. So we start in the stars, so we are stars in a physical body. And this is why we say Mr., Sister, Fraudster, Sinister. Stir is star, and we are in the stars, and our star descends into the soul system, not solar system. And as we descend into the soul system, we enter Satan's kingdom, Satan's world. As it says in the Bible, Satan is the god of this world. Well, if you've been into my research for a while, you know Satan is Saturn. Saturn's world, because Saturn's the outermost ring. He's the Lord of the Rings. And you enter his kingdom, the kingdom of time, and this is why Saturn's the time god. As soon as you go past the rings of Saturn, you're now in the soul system, you're now in time, you're now bound by space and time. And you're bound to the earth plane, the heart. Earth is heart. It's a rearrangement, it's an anagram for heart. And the heart of the electromagnetic color spectrum is green, and that's why the earth is green. And above green is blue, and this is why the sky is blue. In order to go to heaven on the macro scale, you have to go through the blue sky, through the 7 layers of heaven. In order to reach heaven in your body, whilst you're here, you have to go through the blue chakra to your head, which is heaven. It's micro, macro. Everything is micro, macro inside of this creation. There's an ancient, I think this is a French image, piece of art from the ancient French, with obviously the 7 layers of heaven, which they all depict. And notice how it's like a dome. We'll go into this dome symbolization, the Royal Arch of Masonry, which is next. But these 7 layers of heaven give us the 7 metals, the 7 days of the week, the 7 diatonic tones, the 7 chakras, the 7 everything. It's God's favorite number. And this is why the Masons use the G inside of the compass, because the G is the 7th letter and God starts with G. You see? So it's 7. God is 7. Here's another depiction of the heart, the soul system, the 7 layers of heaven. La Fermenta, you see, La Firmament, with the stars on the outermost layer. Here are the 7 planets: Jupiter, Mars, La Sophie, the sun, La Luna, the moon. So Saturn. So we are in the heart of this soul system. In order to ascend, we need to ascend up our chakra system, reach 144,000 hertz, God consciousness, the God man. You have to unfold God man, master of the mind, mastery of the mind. So what are the stars? The stars make everything unique. The stars are constantly rotating around the center, magnetic North Pole, the tornado at the center, which is stirring everything. It's stirring the ether. The center is the ether, and the 4 elements are born out of this ether. There's 5 elements: ether, spirit, water, air, and earth. The ether gives birth to the 4 other physical elements, which the whole of creation are made out of. About them 4 elements. 4 is the number of stability. You know, a chair, a table has 4 legs. It stables things. It's a foundation, and these 4 elements are the foundation of this creation. You see, and this magnetic North Pole is stirring this, and the 4 vibrational states of the ether are the 4 elements. Now let me get back to the stars. I just wanted to give you that. The stars are being stirred around this center point. Center. It's stirring everything, and they're always in different alignments. Every millisecond, they're moving in different placements of the stars. And the planets are called the 7 wanderers because they're not fixed. The stars are fixed, but the planets they're called the 7 wanderers, the 7 layers of heaven, because they move faster and slower than each other. Each planet is slower and faster. There's a different rate of speed it's moving. So these alignments are mixing in with the energies of the different 12 constellations. And this is why you have a unique characteristic. You have a unique look, a unique energy, a unique personality. This is because when you were born and you took your first breath, that energy which was in the ether, because the ether is all around you, and energy travels through the ether. The energy that the stars were casting down and the energy that the planets was mixing in with the 12 constellations was in the ether. So when you came out of the womb and your first breath, because breath is spirit, okay? So that first breath you took, that is the energy that is imprinted within your DNA, your soul. And you reflect that energy, you emit that energy. That's the energy that is with you forever. Until you die. Till this physical body dies off. And that's what the stars are. The stars are giving a unique energy, characteristic, personality to every living thing. Every dog, every cat, every animal has a unique personality because it was born at a different time and place in the sky. Okay, the stars are your destiny. Now the stars are constantly changing as well. If you look at stars through a telescope, they're constantly changing and forming different forms. You can see here, it looks like water. It looks like light through water because it's the ether above us, a sea of ether. And this light is being emitted through it, and it's just constantly changing, giving different energies, each star. So this is why this is what the zodiac is. It's the expression of energy. It's the expression of the stars. And each constellation has many different personality, different energies, different traits. Each planet has different traits, depending where your planets are, depending what energies you hold. No two person have the same energy. There's no one. It could be similar, but no one's the exact same. It's because of the stars. The stars are never in the exact same split place. The planets are always in different houses. So here's some Royal Arch symbolism. Here's the Royal Arch of Masonry, as it says here. The sun and the moon, the constellations, here's Cancer, the 7 planets, the 7 stars. Here's the Royal Arch, this is the firmament. Here's the duality. Black and white, duality, good and evil, rest and motion. Dielectricity, magnetism. See? So this is what the Royal Arch is. It's symbolizing the cosmic dome above us. The womb we're in, we're inside God's womb. And here's George Washington, the Freemason, inside of the Royal Arch. You see? With the G, the Masonic G, God, 7. Here you see another depiction of George Washington with the stars in the dome above his head, his Polaris, the sky vault, Polaris. We'll get into that later. Go inside of all of your ancient churches, you will see the dome. Go to the Vatican, you'll see the dome. All of your ancient churches have this dome because it's the dome above your head. The ancients knew this. This was known. We did not live in space. It was known back then. They all knew. This is Crown Court, which is one of the most important courts in the UK. You can see it's clearly so much Masonic symbolism. You've got the 4 pillars of Masonry. The Royal Arch is like an arrow pointing upwards to Polaris. As the Disney World is under a dome. In his Polaris, the sky vault. You see? And also 666 in the symbol. Here's more, 7 layers of heaven. Here's an ancient depiction of the firmament. Here's the astral plane outside of the firmament. The Royal Arch. You see, it's everywhere. Here's Polaris, the 8-pointed star. Polaris is in between the sun and the moon. It's at the center of the Taurus field. And Polaris corresponds with the pineal gland as well because it's the all-seeing eye. See? So, here's Polaris, the 8-pointed star, which is at the very top. It's the very center. It's on top of the North Pole. And it's an 8-pointed star that's always symbolized as an 8-pointed star. Here you see the Vatican. The Vatican is a giant key with an 8-pointed star. You see, it's a key. Here's the dome. Here's the Space Delta, the USA Space Delta logos. Here you see the Egyptian god looking from the center of the North Pole, looking upward to an 8-pointed star, Polaris. An arrow pointing up to Polaris. Here's another, the bear holding a key with an arrow up to Polaris, 7. Holds the key to Polaris. Here's an eagle holding a key above the North Pole to Polaris. Polaris, and here's another one. There's another bird, like a dragon, holding a key to Polaris. Because Polaris is definitely something to do with leaving this creation. Okay, maybe, I can't say for sure, but maybe it's to do with ascension, and this is why the Vatican hold the key to the 8-pointed star. And this is why the space, well, we all know space is a lie, but they're showing Polaris and its sacred symbology. Maybe it's to do with something leaving this creation, going to another. Here's some North Pole symbolism. As above, so below. See the four seasons of the Big Dipper constellation going around Polaris. This is Polaris, this is the Big Dipper constellation, and this is the swastika. This image gives us the swastika, because all the symbols we use are created in nature. They're created somehow in nature. This is how we get them. As above, so below. This is the map of the North Pole with the 4 rivers, looking like the Big Dipper constellation. It's the Masonic, here's the ancient cosmology with the 4, you see the 4 islands, Mayan cosmology, 4 islands. This is the alchemical symbol for Earth, 4 sections. The windows, because the center of the North Pole is a window to another dimension. The 4 lucky 4-leaf clover, which is supposed to be lucky. It's just, it's truth in plain sight. And here's Hitler looking at 2 flat Earth maps. So this swastika has been used for thousands of years, thousands and thousands of years. And it's symbolic for the most sacred land on this plane, the North Pole. Shambhala. Do some research on Shambhala, people. It's a it's a Hindu mythology about the sacred lands at the center of the earth, and it's known to be full of enlightened beings, and it's all symbolized at the center. You can see their paintings of Shambhala. It's all at the center, the North Pole, and it's known to be the most godly place ever, because it takes you to a portal to the higher places. And maybe this is something to do with Polaris, connecting you to this sacred land at the very center. But anyways, people, thank you all for tapping in. Hope you all learned something. Have an amazing day. Please follow, subscribe, like, all the links in the description for the courses, the PDF. Please have an amazing day. God bless.
Welcome to Revival of Wisdom.
This video is going to be about the flat earth and the breakdown of the whole cosmology. I'm going to be digging very deep. I've got a lot of pictures and images to show you, and a lot of dots to connect. So let's start with the Freemasonry art. So this artwork we have here is the Freemasonic cosmology, as they know and believe. So what is it symbolizing? Obviously have to start off with the 4 pillars representing the 4 corners of the earth. The 4 corners with duality. You see, there's everything on earth. There's good and evil. Good, evil, positive, negative. Good, bad. This is the checkerboard. This is what it symbolizes. Okay, obviously we have the sun, the moon. The sun gives you energy. It's the anode. The moon is the cathode. It's the opposite. It takes your energy, so therefore you become sleepy when the moon comes out. You see, everything on earth, everything in the universe is balanced. There's complete balance, symbolized by duality. There's always 2 opposites. We have the all-seeing eye, and obviously 7 stars representing the 7 planets, but not planets as in we know planets. They're not physical spinning balls of gas. They are energies. They are lights emitting from the realm above this realm. They are lights through the firmament, through the electromagnetic field. So let's go through that again. The 4 corners, duality, positive and negative, cold, dry. Everyone on earth has an opposite. Everyone, there's 2. Okay, and then we have the sun, the moon, the 7 planets with a 5-pointed star. What's the 5-pointed star? Of course, it's the 5 elements: spirit, water, earth, fire, and air. Okay, that's what the 5-pointed star is symbolizing, the 5 elements of earth. And then, most importantly, we have the compass. The compass is very, very important, hence why it's in the center. The compass is symbolizing many, many things, and one of the most important things, but we'll get into that after. We have a boat with water outside of the earth. So we have a boat on water, symbolizing the waters separated by the firmament, the waters above, separated by the firmament from the waters within the firmament, the earth. So this is what it's symbolizing. So the compass, what's the compass? This is where the compass comes from. The Polaris, the most important star there is, because it's in the center of Earth. The sun, the moon, and the black hole, black sun. Because all creation comes from center. the seed center. Okay, but we'll get into this after. But also, this is a very important Masonic symbol because they use this symbol a lot. This is one of their main symbols, hence why Neil Armstrong has the Masonic ring with the compass on it. The people who supposedly went to the moon, which obviously they faked to push this globe model, because the globe model is based upon fear. Because the globe model, if they can sell you the globe model, they can sell you anything then. You don't know where you actually are. The globe model is to push fear upon the masses, because the globe model means there's not enough resources. There's also risks of asteroids hitting the planet. There's also risks of space extraterrestrial invasions, global warming, asteroids. You see, this is all the fear that they can gain off selling you the globe model. Okay, because they don't want you to know that this is an intelligent design. And also, they're hiding God, the creator, the source. This is why they are satanic. They are opposites. They are lefty, Lucifer, right, righteous, godly. Hence why they do the symbolism on their eyes. 666. This is another famous, famous astrologer. Astronaut. This is another famous astronaut doing 666, showing that he's in the alliance of the occult. But even look at their 10th anniversary stamps. They have a Masonic compass on there. Also the Order Out of Chaos. Order Out of Chaos, double-headed eagle. Okay, the Order Out of Chaos ring, which they wear. So all of these astronauts are in the occult. They are lying to you. They are in with this order, this Masonic New World Order, whatever you want to call it. So let's break this compass down a lot more. Because as I showed you here, the center, okay, this is what the compass is symbolizing. Let's go into the North Pole map. This is from 1595. This is a rough estimate of where this map came from. It's from around the 1500s to the 1600s, maybe 1400s. There's not an actual set date on this map because obviously our history has been tampered with. But let's break down this map and the symbolism that they use towards this map, because this map is the map of the North Pole. Okay, so in the center, we have the black rock symbolizing the tower, the pole, North Pole. And what's on top of the North Pole? Obviously, it's Polaris. North Pole and Polaris. Okay, with the 4 islands around the center. Okay, 4 islands around the center. And this is what blew my mind, right? They say that Santa sounds similar. And if you look at this pole that's pointing to the North Pole, you see this line here. So this is obviously from the 1600s. What color is Santa? He's red and white. Just like this map pointing to the center is red and white, and Santa comes from the North Pole. So it's not a coincidence that they use red and white. They're mocking this map because obviously they took over after the 1500s, 1600s. They took over around the 1800s. So they're mocking this map with Santa coming from the North Pole with this red and white line to the North Pole. Notice the 4 islands, okay, like windows, their symbol. They obviously in the occult, they're part of the New World Order. is symbolizing these 4 islands with the blue behind it for the water. Okay, so this is another occult logo that's symbolizing this center, because the center is so important. Okay, we'll get into that. Also, we have the Mayan cosmology. This is the Mayan cosmology. This is what they created. This is their artwork, with also 4 major lands around the center. You see there's 4 with green in between them all. 4 major lands with the underworld. You see this underworld is also symbolized by the Masons with the coffin of the skull and bones, the deceased, the dead. Okay, so this is also mentioned in the book of Enoch. Okay, and it's called Sheol. Sheol, the underworld. Okay, and in the book of Enoch, it says all spirits of the dead go to these hollow places, that they are wait until their appointed time of judgment. And it also says in the book of Enoch, there are 4 hollow places underneath. 4 as above, so below, representing the 4 islands. As above, so below. That's where that could link in. Okay. The book of Enoch is very important because it was found in a cave thousands of years ago, and has a lot of truths about this realm and about this world we live in. So let's go back to the Mayan cosmology. So the ancient cosmology, they all must have had some sort of communication. They must all be at peace with each other, because all of their cosmologies link together. You see the Greek, Babylonian, Indian, Celtic. Okay, they're all linked in together. They all knew that they were in an enclosed system with an underworld and obviously a firmament. Okay, so this is what they all knew. They all must have had some sort of communication. They were a lot more advanced than us. They knew the center of the realm. Okay, and obviously the United Nations flag also symbolizes their center. You see how it has like a grid with a circle around the center. It's symbolizing that center of the realm, because that center of Earth is so important. The United Nations flag, they all have it. See, some different ones all have that circle around the center, because the center is the seed. All things come from a center. So the torus field is so important because it is the spark of life. It's the building blocks of the universe, this creation, because all things have a torus field. Just like an apple with what's in the center of an apple, a seed, because the center is where the energies hold, is where the energies meet, and it creates that spark of life. Just like your heart is the center of your body, and it has an electromagnetic field, because the center, all things come from the center. So this is why the North Pole is so important, because this is why it's so important, because this is where the creation sparked from, the center. This is where the most electromagnetic energy is stored. So this is why the northern lights come from the center. It's electromagnetic energy. This is what the northern lights are. It's being emitted from this black hole in the center. Okay? And obviously what else is on the center? Polaris. Polaris is the center star. Okay? So the center star is what sits on top of this North Pole, Polaris, because it's a pole of electromagnetic energy, symbolized as a black rock, a black hole, pole. You see, because all creation comes from void. Light is born from darkness. Without light, darkness can't be born from light. You see, but light can be born from darkness. This is why darkness is so important. And this is why there's a black hole in the center of our realm, like the black sun. The black sun, the Polaris star, the North Star. You see, so this is this North Pole, Polaris. This is what they're talking about. And this is why compasses are an 8-pointed star, because Polaris is symbolized as an 8-pointed star. This is where a compass will point you to. It will point you to that center. So notice how a compass has this black hole in the middle, you see, and it will point you to this meeting point, the north, because in the center is the center of the torus field of the earth. This is where the most electromagnetic energy is. You see, everything gets sucked into the black hole. Okay, this whole reality is being projected from that center point, just like your eyes suck in light. It's a black hole. Your eyes suck in the light of this light being emitted from this center place, this electromagnetic energy at the center, which is the seed of everything, of everyone. You see, just like an apple has the seed in the center in darkness, because in the center of the apple it's dark, it's black, it's pitch black, but that's where the seeds are, that's where the life is. But Polaris is so important because it's that center star which lines up. It is the pole, it's the top of the pole of the torus field. So Polaris would be here at the very, very top. And this is where the compasses point you to. And this is why the star of Ishtar, the 8-pointed star of the Sumerians, also talked about this 8-pointed star, and it's called the Star of Ishtar. Okay, and who is Ishtar? Ishtar is the goddess. Okay, so she's not a male, she's a female, because every creation is brought through a female, a womb. Every single human on earth is brought through the womb, the sacred feminine energy, and the womb is pure darkness. There's no light in a womb, just like the center of our realm. There's no, it's a black hole. Okay, and guess what? She's the god of fertility and sexuality. She is responsible for all life. Okay, so the star of Ishtar is the star of Polaris, which is symbolizing the responsibility for all life, the center of our realm, the black sun, the black hole. Okay, so this is what that god of Ishtar of the Sumerians is talking about, the goddess, the womb, the seed of creation. So this would be the portal, more than likely the portal in and out of our realm, because it's the top of the torus field. And what's above this realm is the heavens. So this is where you get sucked in from the heavens. Your soul gets sucked in and brought onto this plane of existence called Earth. These are some space NASA symbols. Look how much Polaris symbolism there is, and notice how it's at the center. You see this circle? This is like a half circle. And at the center is an 8-pointed star of Ishtar. It's the same thing, it's Polaris, it's at the center. And notice on some of these, look, this one is a bear holding the key and an arrow pointing to the Polaris star, so that they hold the key to Polaris. Another one with like a demon holding a key to the what? Polaris on top of him. Also an eagle, which is a Masonic symbol. The eagle holding a key on top of the center, you see. And notice how there's an arrow going up to the Polaris and an arrow down, as above so below, to Earth. So you can go out of Earth and into Earth through Polaris. And the eagle holds the key. You see? The eagle holds the key, just like this. This demon dragon holds the key to Polaris. And look at this one, Earth, with an arrow up to Polaris, an 8-pointed star. So Polaris is more than likely that portal which the Anunnaki used, the Sumerian gods used, because the Anunnaki symbol is also an 8-pointed star. Okay, and like I said, that center is the seed of creation. The center is the black hole. Okay, just like your pineal gland is at the center of your brain. The pineal gland is at the center of your brain, and that's what connects you to that spirit realm, to the source. That's it for this video, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all learned something today. Please leave a like, a comment, and please subscribe to the channel for more content. God bless you all.
Welcome to Revival of Wisdom.
Welcome people. We're back with another video. Please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to never miss a video. The Earth is a giant torus field consisting of a positive and a negative pole. The Sun being the cathode with a positive charge and the Moon being the anode with a negative charge. This is why the Sun rules over the day, giving you lots of energy, and the Moon taking your energy from you, making you go to sleep. Now, the plane that we live on is called the plane of inertia, and at the center of this plane of inertia is the North Pole. This is where the two electromagnetical energies meet. Now, this is where the most electromagnetic energy is stored. This is why all compasses will point north, because it's the most magnetic place in this reality. So the Sun and the Moon is spinning around this center point, which is stirring the ether of this reality and making everything move in circles, meaning this is a cycle. Everything's recycling itself. It's an organic simulation. The ancients also knew about this sacred land at the center of this reality, known as the North Pole. As you can see on this map from the 1500s of the North Pole, you can see 4 islands around this center black rock. Ancient civilizations like the Mayans, the Buddhists, and ancient Chinese also depict these 4 islands. The endless symbology of these sacred lands at the center has been going on for thousands of years. These sort of secrets are now kept by the elites, but as always they have to show the truth in plain sight, and this is what they are doing with the Windows symbol and also the Wizard of Oz. Now in the Wizard of Oz, as you can see, there's something called Munchkin Land. Munchkins are these unusually short people. Then on the ancient 1500s map it says Pygmy, and then the Pygmy people in mythology are also these unusually short people. just like Santa and his elves, they come from the North Pole, and elves are these unusually short people. These stories that we are told about Santa and Munchkins are putting truth in plain sight about this sacred land. This sacred land at the center of the earth is where the aurora borealis comes from and is being emitted from this black hole in the center, also known as the black sun. The aurora borealis is the Earth's aura, hence why it has the word aura inside of it. It is the life-giving essence to all life within this realm. As this dualistic reality we live in consists of both physical and spiritual, the black sun is like our sun for the spirit. It's our spiritual umbilical cord, connecting us to the spirit realm. And the rising sun is the opposite. It's our sun for our physical 666 carbon suits, known as our human body, our physical aspect. As it states in the 40,000-year-old emerald tablets, deep in Earth's heart lies the flower, the source of the spirit. The flower of life is as thine own place of spirit, and streams through the earth as thine flows through thy form, giving off life to the earth and its children. So the North Pole is the core of this spiritual reality, and the closer you get to it, the more spiritual and lucid it becomes. So the elites have covered this up in order for us to forget the true nature of this reality. And they did this cover up by introducing the globe model. Nicholas Copernicus was around in the 1400s, and he introduced the globe model. As you can see, he is a Freemason. He depicts himself with a globe and a Masonic compass in all of his paintings and portraits. Galileo was also a Freemason, as you could see in all of his portraits with a globe and a Masonic compass. He was also a massive part of introducing the globe model after Nicholas Copernicus. So yes, the globe model was a spiritual and political move to gain more control over the masses. After the globe model was then introduced, they introduced the theory of evolution by another Freemason, Charles Darwin. See how these two theories go hand in hand? They both degrade humanity, and they make you confused of where we actually came from. By hiding the true form of this divine creation and hiding the true power of each and every one of us, they maintain control over the masses. Now this is order out of chaos, known to be the 33rd degree slogan of Freemasonry. Now this is the Masonic Cosmology, and as you can see, you have the checkered board for the duality, the 5-pointed star for the 5 elements, the 4 corners for the 4 pillars, the all-seeing eye, which is Polaris, the sun, the moon, and the 7 stars. So even Freemasons are taught the flat earth cosmology and the true form of this reality. Now the true nature of the sun, the moon, and the earth is shown and reflected through the Masonic compass. The Masonic compass is the sun, the moon, Polaris at the top, and the black sun at the bottom. It makes sense why all the scientists who introduced the globe model all used the compass and the globe together, because it's truth in plain sight. As I explained in my other video, all Freemasons have to take the oath, so it goes to show, why are we all learning these theories from Freemasons who can't talk about certain topics that they learn about? Why should we believe their theories when they're holding back the real truth about this reality? Now going on to NASA. NASA means to deceive in Hebrew, and they are also funded by the government. They are not a private company. The old owner of NASA, Werner von Braun, on his grave has the Bible verse Psalms 91. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Now why would the owner of NASA put this on his grave? Seems a bit suspicious to me, alongside with the NASA astronauts are all Freemasons. And not to mention the countless mistakes they've made on their live videos in space stations, the moon landing, and the CGI footage of the Earth, which is obviously photoshopped. Just by tricking the masses that they live on a spinning ball, the elites gain the perception of the masses. Not only does it hide the divine creation we're inside of, it hides the divine spark within you. It hides the creator, the source. And by believing in space and we live on a spinning ball, it makes people come to the interpretation of that we are a coincidence and we do not have any purpose. And of course this is false. When you come to realization that we are all a divine creation and we can create our own divine life in this reality, life becomes more sacred and you start to enjoy little things. The elites want you to believe everything exists only in the five senses. They want you constantly looking outside of yourself because they know that will keep you on lower states of consciousness. Now this brings me to our next point. By tricking the masses into the heliocentric model, the elites started to advertise aliens in the movies, in cartoons and magazines in the late 1940s. Now this is subconsciously programming us about aliens and extraterrestrial threats, which then they can use to their advantage. And this is something called Project Bluebeam. They are more than likely going to fake an alien invasion to push this 2040 agenda, which is for one government and one ruling currency. That's it for this video, guys and girls. Hope you all enjoyed. Please make sure to leave a like and a comment. God bless you all. Welcome people, we're back with another video. I will now be keeping track of my YouTube and trying to upload every week. In this video, we'll be talking about the chakras. The chakras are the 7 attributes of God, and they are the 7 planets. These are literally vortex portals within us that connect us to these vices and characteristics of God. Each one of these energy centers are a spinning whirl of energy which controls the cells and organs in that particular area of the body. For example, it's literally a mini brain for that area of the body. Each chakra has a vice which you need to turn to a virtue in order to climb up through the system. They work like a stairway system. You have to go through each chakra in order to unlock the one above. This process is turning matter into spirit as you descended from spirit to matter. Saturn is Satan, that's why it's the lowest chakra, and that's why the devil is red, because red is the lowest vibrational color. When you are in these lower states of consciousness, you are in your animal nature. This is your physical side of your nature, and you are mainly being driven by your animal instincts or your ego. Moving back to your higher self or your spirit self is not an easy process, it takes a while. However, with discipline, consistency, and motivation, you can achieve this, and this is what the ancients called Christ consciousness. Once you have achieved this, it is basically a state of mastery of the mind. You no longer lust for the lower animal nature things. Now, let's start with the root chakra. This is located at the base of your spine, and you can feel this chakra by tensing your anus. This energy center is in control of your survival needs, your vitality, stability and security. Now, if this chakra is unbalanced, you will feel insecure, fear, anxiety, unstable, low self-esteem, anemia, over or underweight, and constipation. In order to balance this chakra, you need to feel grounded, embodied, stable, calm, centered, a sense of safety and trust in yourself